Well, this is the Angry Reviewer, and I've been asked. This is a one review where I've been constantly asked and asked again and asked again, but I was busy and I never really got downtime to do it. Well, now I have plenty of free time. I can jump right on it. Basically, what this review is about Double Dragon, the movie. Not the animated series. Now, if it was Double Dragon, the animated series, that would have fucking kicked ass. I love that show, that cartoon. No, this is Double Dragon, the movie. People constantly ask me when it comes to bad movie reviews to review this film. Review this one and review Fantastic Four 2016. I don't have that movie just yet. I'm gonna get it. I found it on the cheap at HEB for like $8. I know $8 is still too much to pay for it, but I'd rather pay $8 than pay an absurd amount for a film. So I'll get that on the cheap. As far as this one goes, I've had this one for a while. It's the Good Times video, so it's the classic version of Double Dragon. To tell you the truth, I've been asked because Andre the Black Nerd did it to do a review about a bad movie where I gotta say something good. At least 2 or 3 things good about the film, and then the rest I can trash it. Well, number one, I'll give it that they got Mark Dacascos. Mark Dacascos is one of my favorite actors. I love the dude in Drive. And the DMX film, don't tell me I'll figure it out. What was that DMX film Mark Dacascos was in? It had Steven Seagal in it. And I don't know for the life of me, but well, anyway, Mark Dacascos was villain. It had Jet Li in it. My bad. Jet Li was in it. He fought at a club. Tom Arnold was in it. Cradle to the Grave. It had Mark Dacascos. And Mark Dacascos was excellent in Only the Strong. He was excellent in fucking in this, because it got to show off a little bit of his prowess. Robert Kilpatrick is always a good actor. He was wasted in this film as the Shadow Master. I mean, come on. If you really know Double Dragon lore, you know the Shadow Master was just his evil boss that could turn to his shadow and possess other beings. I mean, in that sense, they got the character right. I'm not going to say that they got him wrong, but other than that, he's just bland in this film and boring. He really did nothing to further the story. And number two, what doesn't fucking help this film, if I have to be blunt, what doesn't help this film is Jimmy and Billy Lee. They were guys like in their 20s, mid-20s, and this one they're fucking kids. They're like maybe 16 or 17 years old, and they're giving you some half-assed story about a medallion that created the Double Dragon. No. The Double Dragon and lore, all they were, there was no medallion. They were just two brothers that knew martial arts and would go around in the streets and whoop your ass. And they would go fight boss after boss after boss after boss and kick ass. Even in Double Dragon, the animated series, which was a far superior step up compared to this piece of trash, they would go around and fight. There were two guys in dragon costumes. I mean, not literal dragon costumes, but their masks were like dragons. Their suits were the right color. And they'd go around and fight boss after boss after boss and whip ass after ass after ass. It was one of those situations where the cartoon beat the movie. When this was made to springboard off the popularity of Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, and Super Mario Brothers. I mean, personally, Super Mario Brothers is a shit film within itself, but it's a film that I can honestly say you can watch, turn your brain off, and accept it for what it is. It's basically what would happen if Super Mario Brothers went live action. If you look at the film that way, what would happen if Super Mario Brothers went live action, then you'll find enjoyment in the Mario Brothers movie. Mortal Kombat, they got it to a T. There was nothing wrong with Mortal Kombat, and people that said that there was are full of shit. Mortal Kombat, there was nothing wrong with it. They basically, they ripped off Enter the Dragon, but what do you expect to do with Mortal Kombat? You didn't expect them to mock the game for the Super NES, the very first game, to the T. I mean, you didn't expect them to get that violent. Mortal Kombat was good for what it was. It was a film that built up, that could have been great. It was a film that could have had a great sequel. But no, they chose to cheese on the sequel because they really didn't give a fuck about it. After Mortal Kombat, they knew that there was no way they could capture lightning in the bottle the way they did with the first film, so they just basically gave up. It was like the Batman films. Tim Burton's Batmans were the best. Adam West's Batman movie, that was alright for the time that it was made. It was cheesy as fuck, but it worked. It gave you something to watch, so it was good in that sense. Tim Burton's Batman worked on all levels. Joel Schumacher's Batman, no. Okay? Just no. Joel Schumacher's Batman's just no. Christopher Nolan's Batmans are way better than Burton's Batmans, but Burton's Batmans had Michael Keaton as Batman, and he did a good job. Christian Bale did a good job as Batman also, but not that much. Then, of course, you go into your animated movies, where Mask of the Phantasm was the one that jump-started everything, and it was the best. The Batman Superman movie was pretty good, too. But I'm getting off topic. Now, back to this film. So this film tried to springboard off the success of Mortal Kombat, and the reason I say success of Street Fighter, because whether you liked the Street Fighter movie, you hated the Street Fighter movie, or you just didn't care for it at all, you seen it to have those feelings. So if you have those feelings, then you've seen the movie. Plain and simple. You've had to have seen it to know what the movie's about and to know you don't like it. You can't just say, well, I saw a fucking trailer and when I saw the trailer I didn't like the film. That's bullshit. How can you judge a film off of a trailer? But then again, there's idiots out there like Rotten fucking Tomatoes that they probably don't even fucking watch the movies and they fucking just critique off a fucking trailer, a 5-second trailer and shit, and give it its lowest rating. I've seen Rotten Tomatoes do that shit, and believe me, not every fucking rating they give is accurate. But then again, they got their mindless sheep that follow Rotten Tomatoes and agree with everything that they say. And hey, if that works for you, more power to you. It doesn't work for me, so fuck it. That's why my group was created. We hate TV and movie critics. Now, this film, they tried to stick with the premise of Double Dragon. Key word is tried, and in the fact that they're both two brothers. They're both martial artists, and they do eventually get their costumes, but that's it. Other than that, nothing else fits. Nothing. They totally missed the point of a Double Dragon movie, and that point was basically do what Mortal Kombat did. Let Van Damme, this is what I say, let Van Damme direct this film and just have two Asian American guys going around fighting boss after boss and kicking ass. And there's your film. How hard is that? All Hollywood had to do was just make a film where two guys, and they could have even turned it into a martial arts tournament, just went around and whipped ass through the whole tournament until they had to fight one another. That would have been more interesting than this piece of shit. I'm just saying, that would have been more interesting than this piece of shit. They tried to save the film by giving us ass shots of Alyssa Milano. But even Alyssa Milano herself could not save this fucking film. Hate saying it, but the fucking truth of the matter is, even Milano couldn't save this film. And she does have a nice ass to look at, but even that ass couldn't save the film. I'm just saying. It's like putting Jennifer Love Hewitt in the Mario Brothers movie as Princess Peach. She's gonna be nice to look at her and have the nice round tits and a good ass, but she can't even save the fucking film. But that's my opinion. See, like I stated before, I did say that Mark Dacascos did a good job. So did Robert Kilpatrick. I'll admit that. They were good as actors. Now, for my other two nice things to say, the second thing good I'm going to say about this film, they did have some nice fight choreography when it would go down. When the fights would happen, they were either hit or miss. Most of the time they hit. There was a few that missed. But what do you expect from a PG-13 film about Double Dragon? This film needed to be rated R. I can tell you that right now, and it would have been a hell of a lot better than this crap. So, we got Mark Dacascos did a good job with his role. Robert Kilpatrick did a good job with his role. They had nice fight scenes. And I guess the last thing that I will say about this film is they somewhat accurately got the Shadow Master correctly. And the reason I say somewhat, because the Shadow Master was bland and boring, but he did turn invisible for some of the films, so there's that. Okay, there's my three good things. Now that that's done, I'm going to say it like this. I've been talking about this film for a while, and it doesn't deserve that. This film is shit. This is the type of film you watch on a Friday night when you ain't got nothing else to do. This is the type of film you get drunk to and watch with a couple of friends. This is the type of film you watch like what I'm doing right now. You watch it because you ain't got nothing else to watch. This is how I look at this film. If it's late at night, you're watching Starz, Encore, HBO, Showtime, EAC, and your softcore porn shows are over, and you got nothing else to watch, and this happens to pop on, happens to be on there, go ahead and give it a go. If anything, it'll put you to sleep, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, that's a good thing. Other than that, avoid this at all costs. Pick it up if you must for a bad movie review or a bad review, period. Or if you just want something that's a hilariosity, as Chris Stuckman would say, something that is so bad it's actually kind of good and you can actually kind of laugh at it. That's how I look at this film. Honestly, I grade this film a D. I would go lower if I could, but I'll give it a D because they did try, I guess. And I am a fan of Robert Kilpatrick and Mark Dacascos, even though they were wasted in this film. And Satori was pretty hot. So was Alyssa Milano. Other than that, fuck the film, don't watch it. And if you must watch it the way I told you, or watch it drunk. I'm me, you're you, I'm out.